All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's video. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about today because we're into the new year. I know there are, it appears that every single year you have people that are wanting to get a jump start, a new start, no matter what it is. It could be, they want to get healthy, they want to start going to the gym and getting a little bit fit and starting to eat right, changing their whole diet, as well as maybe possibly looking into new professions, new ways to maybe actually make or earn, whether it's part-time or additional income, right? And some people are just looking to maybe step their way out of the workforce and start to look for new opportunities in which they can start a business themselves. Becoming a trader, I talk about how hard it is to really get into this business because you have to have the right mindset for one. Psychologically, everything has to be, at a level playing field because, you can't be irrational thought. You can't have anxiety or be stressed out. You can't have personal things or tied into emotions that could possibly place duress or stress on your body and your mind when you're really looking to start, try to get into a new profession, especially in trading and make money. Because in this business, we have money tied to it. It's not like going out there and getting a job, seeking employment. And, all you have to do is fill out that online application, go through the interview process, capture or land that job, and then start to make money week to week where you start to draw a check from that employer. This is different, guys. And everyone that trades and who are successful traders, profitable, they know that we have money tied to this, meaning we've saved X amount of capital, put it to the side, put it into a brokerage account, and looking to start trading and flipping that money, growing that account. So today I want to talk to you about basically these 5 things, what it really takes to become a successful and great futures trader, okay? So for me, it was a struggle when I first started. I'm sure like most, the journey, the path to become successful, it's not an overnight success thing. A lot of us put in months. A lot of us put in years. I put years into this business and trying to perfect it, to make it my own, to where I could, become a experienced level or trader to where I could draw an income and doing this full time for a living and not have to depend on any source of income from an employer. I turned a interest, a passion into a business opportunity. So first and foremost, number 1, we're going to talk about the 5 simple things that you really need to master, really need to become comfortable with to transform yourself into this business or transition from maybe you're looking to maybe from a part-time standpoint or maybe even full-time. You want to take this thing and turn it into an actual career-based business. So 5 things that you really need to master to become a great trader. And one, that is discipline, okay? Discipline comes from self-motivation, comes from drive, being able to really transform your life and push yourself to have goals and aspirations to want to master something, okay? Become great at it, all right? And that's all going to be centered around what you put your mind to. I talk about hobbies. A lot of people create businesses just from the simple passion of having a hobby. All right, maybe you're a craftsman, maybe you want to, I don't know, maybe you're an herbalist, maybe you're someone that's a fitness instructor, maybe you're someone that knows how to cook and you want to become a chef. Maybe you create a bakery just for the simple idea of you love to bake from your home and you take that and turn it into a business to where maybe you have a storefront. Maybe you're someone that's a graphic design artist and you turn a business and transform it into an online business to where you're creating apparel and designs for other individuals and selling it. Whatever it is, that you may have interest in, it all stems from a hobby. For me, it was the interest of wanting to trade, and I said, I'm gonna prove to myself that I can do this, and it became a hobby. I started kind of dabbling into it, training and perfecting the craft, because no matter what you have interest in, you have to perfect that craft. All right. And maybe some of you are into professional careers, and you really honed into that, and there's nothing wrong with, kind of venturing to the outside to see if there's other opportunities just for an extra source of income. I'm not saying quit your day job. Some of you guys may have really professional jobs that you're really drawing a nice income, and you just want to kind of maybe reinvest or invest that money into something else that you can continue, turning that money and allowing the capital to grow. So number one is discipline. You have to have the right mindset to be able to strive and make it in this business. All right. You guys hear me talk about not passion, but patience all the time. You have to be a patient individual if you want to make it in this business. I'm gonna tell you straight up, because sometimes we sit on our hands for an hour, for 2 hours, or maybe we don't even see a setup that takes place for us to take a trade during that session throughout the day. It may not happen to the next trading session. Maybe you have to go over to another market to look for to search for an opportunity to trade from. I trade supply and demand, so everything that you see me and how I trade in the strategy I use is primarily all 99% based around supply and demand. I 100% and heavy into the idea of trading supply and demand. Okay, to me, that's just aggressive areas of buying and selling that I see unfold within the market. And you have to think about logically, who's taking those moves, why those moves exist, and why are there big areas where there's aggressive selling, lots of red candles coming out of a zone off a swing or in opposite of or demand area where there's a lot of aggressive buying. So, but anyways, patience is a big part. You have to know yourself as an individual and sit and wait patiently. As simple as going on your charts and marking zones, all right? And then waiting for the market just to come back to them and capitalize on those zones. It is not, you just don't jump into a trade the moment it retraces back to or pulls back to a key supply zone, for instance. I talk about the strategy in detail on how I trade it. I sit back, I wait, I mark the zone, sit back and wait for it to unfold. And I'll show you a couple of examples here in the chart if you're someone that's new to watching the channel today, what I'm talking about. All right, we've been in a bearish mode over the last several days. I didn't do any trading yesterday because I had to step away from the charts and take care of some other business. But, there was opportunities. You have to look for those opportunities, whether it's supply or demand. But first and foremost, you need to really know who you are as a person to even recognize, are you built for this? Is it something that you have the right mindset, again, to be able to master? Moving on, number two, mastering market structure. Being able to really understand and see the overall flow of the market. I talked about this a minute ago, being able to see what's going on. Are we in a bearish or a bullish uptrend? What you can see here over the last few days leading up to the end of the year into the beginning few days of 2024, we've been in a bearish mode, not bullish, but bearish mode. What does that mean? Making lower lows and lower highs. You can simply just take a channel and just paint the picture for yourself. What have we've been doing? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, just moving to the downside. And what it is the market's really correcting itself, going back and filling in, areas of correction, imbalances, back to the downside. The market has always got to kind of correct itself and mirror itself and fill in areas. It's going to do that, okay? I talk about this heavily also about we as retail traders, we don't control the market. It's the institutions. They're the ones that control the market. And we want to be able to see the moves that they're making or taking or creating on the charts and be able to trade those opportunities when it comes to supply and demand. Okay. It looks like just, recently into yesterday's session, we started moving back and making higher highs and higher lows. So maybe now we're going to get a push to the upside, and the overall shift of the market starts to really start breaking to the upside. We really start breaking some structural points, breaking highs that we see from prior days. All right. So, like yesterday, say for example, we turned around, shortly after the market around 8:30 and started making higher highs and higher lows, but just basically taking out small structural highs as we were making higher highs and higher lows back to the upside within yesterday's session. We'll know, if the trend is really going to hold true when we start to have breaks of structure where we're taking out small swings to the upside into prior day sessions. That's when we'll know that the market is really trending to the upside, and then we'll start to see the market make higher highs where we can pretty much paint, again, like I just said, a channel to the upside, where we start making, maybe some higher highs and higher lows, pushing higher, continuing the trend to the upside, taking out prior areas of structure from prior sessions. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about when we look at the market as a whole. Talking about market structure. What is it overall? The directional trend, is it to the upside or to the downside? All you have to do is just zoom out on your charts to really see what it's been doing. Okay, bearish to the downside here. If we look back, we can see that the market has been trending to the upside here. All right, from prior sessions each day. It made a high here, higher low, new highs, higher lows, new highs. Just moving to the upside. You should be able to see that with your eye, just zooming in and zooming out on the charts. So if you don't know much about market structure, I have a couple videos on the channel. I did one about a month or 2 months ago. Pretty good market structure video. So watch that. I use a line diagram and candlesticks or candle charts. Just being able to show you what the flow of the market and how to really see it visually with your eyes. Market structure is something that you're really going to need to really understand, grasp, and master if you want to make it in this business. I promise you. That was the hardest thing for me to really understand. My only biggest downfall was I thought I knew market structure, but I clearly did not. And it wasn't until I really took the time to go back and see the charts for what they were, see the market for what it really was trying to, show me. Following market structure, the overall trend, that's when things started to shift in my mindset, and I was able to really capitalize on the movements in the market, looking at it from a higher standpoint is what I'm trying to say. So I use higher time frame charts, like my 60 range chart, and that's what I trade as range-based charts. You can trade how you want to trade. Doesn't matter if you trade time-based, volume-based, or tick-based. Just be able to look at things from a higher time frame chart. And I'm not saying you have to go out into the daily or the weekly to be able to find out the overall direction, kind of just centered, within the last several days to try to figure out or depict the market, direction. You don't have to look that far out. You can use if you use a time-based chart, you can use a 60-minute chart or maybe a 2-hour, 4-hour chart, whatever it is you want to use. I like to use range-based charts, a 60 range chart to kind of use that to tell me or let me know what market structure looks like. I'll go back and look at that. So, and then I just scale down to look at a lower time frame chart to kind of depict when I'm trading within the session. Do I trade looking for scalps going long or going short? So, mark your, it's a good thing I talk about here on my channel. I talk about using multi-chart confluence. That means marking zones off a higher time frame and then scaling down to a lower time frame and waiting for a setup to unfold on the lower time frame. So it's like I'm trading off supply zones, then I'm looking for supply off the higher time frame. Market taps into the higher time frame supply, and then I scale down and move down to my lower time frame chart. Look for structural breaks to happen on the lower time frame in which I can mark a new supply zone on the lower time frame. So it's like marking supply to supply. Supply the higher time frame, supply on the lower time frame. If I'm trading demand zones, I'm looking for demand setup on the or demand zone on the higher time frame, a demand setup on the lower time frame. That's all it is. So now let's move on to the next thing that I want to talk about. Because number one was discipline. Number two was pretty much talking about patience. 3, we're talking about market structure. And number four is basically having a solid trading plan. Now, trading plans can consist of whatever you want them to be. The regiment from day to day in detail, broken down, in a series of guidelines as a sense of rules that you follow and live by when you're trading. And you want to live by those on 100%. Please do not deviate from your trading plan, because that's when a lot of people, they fail, okay? Because what they tend to do is, instead of, say for instance, you got that strategy that you're using, that one strategy, that golden strategy that you've been using, and you perfected it, and you deviate because you saw somebody else using something else, okay, and you wanted to give it a try within a trading session. All right, you take on the risk of doing that, and then maybe it doesn't work out from you because you are used to trading the way that you trade. So that trading plan could be, again, that step-by-step series within that you follow when it comes to that actual strategy. And you want to follow that. It's a regiment of things that you do on a daily basis from the time you get in, it could be from not even the time you get from your charts, but what you do from the moment you wake up. Okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Then I get in front of my charts, And then I look for X, Y, and Z, meaning getting to the front of the chart, okay, looking at the structure of the market, being able to make sure that you understand what happened from yesterday or a few days, that the market is still following a certain trend, marking up zones from there, and trading those zones, off those zones, okay, from the higher time frame chart. Whatever your trading plan consists of, that's what you want to stick by and follow. Even when it comes to proper risk management, how much money you're looking to leverage per trade. You should know these things. You should know how much capital you have, and prior to even starting to trade live, how much you're looking to trade. If you got, say, $4,000 in your account, and maybe you're trading the minis, okay? Whether it's the ES, the Dow, the NASDAQ, whatever it is, you personally should have an idea to know how much am I looking to leverage every time I go into the market. How much am I looking to risk, Okay, I talk about that 10 times rule. I'm not telling you to follow that, but I talk about having 10 times the amount per contract or whatever the margin is to trade. When it comes to trading, say the minis, the ESA, for example, is $400 a contract. That means you have to have at least $400 in your account to trade one contract. Now, to me, it would make sense and for anyone to say, if you got $400, let's say for example, $400, you put $400 in an account, are you going to want to trade one contract or even attempt to trading, off of $400? No, you're not going to trade the minis with $400. Maybe the micros, you could trade a few contracts if you choose to. But again, that 10 times rule I talk about, for every contract that you trade, you want to have 10 times that margin, right? So basically what that boils down to be is that with the ES, for example, a $400 margin per contract. Well, I want to have at least $4,000 in my account to trade one contract. Most beginner traders, that doesn't make sense to them because they think that, well, I can trade a whole lot more with $4,000. Yeah, you can. But I promise you, if you don't have the experience and you're not proving to yourself to be a profitable trader, you're going to take $4,000, you're going to go into your account, you're going to trade 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts, and you're going to blow your account real quick. So if you got $4,000 in your account, prove to yourself, once you've back tested that strategy and it actually works, slowly build up the capital by trading one contract. Keep flipping it up. You get to $8,000 in your capital in your account, then trade 2 contracts. When you slowly do that, you can take a percent out, when it comes to income by slowly showing growth and proving to yourself by profitability of building an account, trading one contract, and then slowly building up. You can still pull profits out of the market. Okay, so understand that you can do this in slow increments. You're not going to be able to just overnight, become rich or become wealthy and taking $4,000 and then flipping it to, a couple, $50,000 or $100,000. If you choose to do that, that's up to you. If you want to take $4,000, I'm not telling anyone how to trade, but I'm just telling you that I with years of experience, I've learned that have a goal set up, have a rule set up for yourself as far as how much you're willing to risk or leverage into the market, how much you're willing to, what is the plan of action that you're looking to take place or to follow by, all right, to build an account up. So you take it for whatever and however you want to take it, but just be mindful of the money and the capital that you have and the risk that you're willing to put on per trade. Now, moving on to the last thing, that's about having an effective strategy. Okay, one that makes sense, one that works, one that you back tested and forward test. Talking about back testing, I'm talking about going back and using, maybe a replay mode of going back and testing it week to week, month to month, just spending time on the charts. You can't just spend 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week. I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours back testing the strategy I use. Okay, does it work 100%? There's no such thing of anything working 100%. Some days are better than others. You're not going to win 100% of the time. A lot of times you may win, have multiple days or weeks where the strategy works for you, but there's going to become a time to where that strategy didn't do as well. Maybe, you went a whole week and it worked 100%. The next week, you went that week and it only worked 80%. The next week, it only worked 75%. The next week, it worked 65%. And then, because the market is a living creature, it's going to do what it wants to do, but how you actually sustain within the markets is knowing when to get out, knowing how to preserve capital, knowing when to get out to, again, preserve your capital. You know, having an exit strategy. Lots of times I'll look at the market. If it doesn't move in my direction quick enough, when I see momentum step in the market and then it flips back the opposite direction, I get out the market. Even though it may go in my direction, that's fine. I'll live to see another trade. You guys see me lots of times, even when I'm trading and I post videos, I say, oh, I'm getting out this trade. And then it goes in my direction. And I say, well, I knew it was going to go there, but because there wasn't enough momentum following through with the trade and it doesn't move quick enough in that direction, I get out the market because I'm not going to take the risk of it kind of just teetering back and forth and then coming back against me. And then even, you know, people always ask me, well, how do you know, when do you know you got the trade? Well, that's the thing about trading supply and demand. You already know the zones in which if it breaks through a zone, then it's invalid. Go ahead and get out. So you can place a stop loss at an area around supply and demand, or you can place it, you know, wherever your entry point is. So you have a supporting swing from which you actually enter the market at. You place it on the back end of that supporting area from the point where you enter the market at. And I talk about that in multiple videos. But lots of times I also say don't place it tick to tick on the back end of a supporting swing because the market is going to test those areas. They know, the market makers know where traders are placing their stops at, and they're going to test those areas. You ever been in a trade and the market comes back and tests the exact area from the point in which you enter a trade from a demand area, and then you enter, okay, and you place your stop loss at the back end of a support and swing, and they come down there and hit it to the tick. Give yourself some room below that area or below that supporting swing from which you can enter that trade from, or where you enter that trade from, because, you know, and maybe just a few ticks, you know, 4, 5, 6, 8 ticks, whatever it may be. Give yourself 2 points if you want to, because they're going to more than likely come back and test that area. I'm not saying they're always going to do that, but a lot of times they'll come within 2 ticks of stopping you out, and you say, wow, almost got stopped out there. So you have to give yourself some room when trading. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? But you want to basically back test that strategy and make sure it works. Stick with a strategy. Strategies works is all about the work you put into them and making sure they work correctly. Now, not every strategy works. I'll say that for one. Not every strategy works. So, you know, I'm not going to say I can place myself in the same shoes as other individuals that have spent, you know, a couple $100 here and there, $1,000 here and there, maybe trying to, or got swindled into someone's training program and that course didn't work out and the strategy didn't work out for you, and then you end up buying something else. I haven't done that. I just devised something that works for me, trading around supply and demand, and I'm here sharing it with you, with you know, those that are watching the channel, those that have become part of the community on Discord, which is growing by the day. And I thank you guys for believing, you know, in me. I don't have anything that, I'm not an educator, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a mentor. I just share my experience and how I personally trade. And there have been tons of individuals that have followed suit and kind of trade similar to the way I trade, and they found a success. You know, tweak it and make it your own. Whatever the strategy may be, maybe something that works for you that you're used to trading supply and demand a certain way, and then maybe you see picked up something in the way I trade, and you've kind of tweaked it and merged two things together. That works in trade. You know, prove to yourself that a strategy works and that you're consistent in doing so. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by back testing and then, you know, kind of demoing it when the market is the session is live at the same time. Then when you build, well, not say build, but then when you've proven to yourself that you're consistent, because that's a major part into becoming a profitable trader is consistency. Without consistency, you won't be profitable. Okay, so you have to prove to yourself, even demoing, paper trading, if you want to call it that you can be consistent on a daily and make profits. And then that's when you maybe want to start, you know, looking to start to trade live, whether it's, you know, with your own income, your own capital, or, you know, with maybe some funded account or some prop firm. I don't trade prop firms. I don't speak on them because I've never used them. Okay. So all I'm saying is that if you are someone that uses prop firms to maybe start your way into this business of trading, to build up some capital, maybe you don't have the funds, or maybe you just don't want to use your own personal funds. Maybe you want to see if you can pass these evaluations and build up a certain amount of capital that you can position or move over to your own brokerage account and start trading your own personal funds. So there's different ways to get started. We all know that, okay? But yeah, that's what I want to talk to you today, talk to everyone today about. It's about, just really 5 great ways or things that you really need to do to really kind of get into trading and really master this thing. You can become a great, profitable futures trader if you just know who you are as a person, okay? Believe in yourself, have patience, be consistent, be a disciplined person for one, not someone that's kind of, jumping around here and there, and you don't have the right mindset, and you're very irrational, and you have highs and lows, you just not have a level playing field. You're going to suffer. I promise. You're going to lose a lot of money in this business, okay? Because when you get into these markets and look at these charts, there's no room for error. You have to quickly get out of a trade when you know it's not working to preserve your capital. Because the market, all it wants to do, I promise you, it is their goal to strip you of your funds, okay? And keep it moving. That's the end goal. They want to take your money, someone else's money over here, someone else's money, and they keep doing that. So you have to, be on the same train with the institutions and know ultimately what they're trying to do to accomplish their movements. Okay, and when you see certain movements take place within the market, trading supply and demand, then you wait for patiently, and then when it gets back there to those zones, you still gotta wait. You wait for the rejection. Then if it starts to unfold and make sense to you, take that trade. All right, you trade what you see. Remember that. Always trade what you see and just practice proper risk management. But that's all I want to share with you guys today. I hope you got some value out of the content in this video here. If you aren't a current sub or subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and click on that sub button down below. Make sure to turn on all your post notifications and also drop a like on the video. If you're interested in joining the Discord community, it's free of charge. Simply find the link down in the description portion of this video. And I'll see you guys as we get to rocking and rolling into the next week's trading session or trading week. On the Discord, I just want to say this. There's a channel there called the Trading Floor. And during the session, primarily during the New York or U.S. session, that's where you'll find us as traders posting our trades, screenshots or images of our trades. And it's also a channel to where you can, converse about why, or ask someone, why they took that particular trade, maybe why they saw that trade. Also, there's the general chat channel. Maybe it's someone that's new to futures trading. You want to tap into the markets on the futures side, and you just don't really know how to, or you do know how to, and you just want to gather some more information, come over to the general chat and ask questions. No question is a stupid question. We all have to start from somewhere. All right? But that's all I have for you. I appreciate you taking the time watching today's video. But again, please take the time to like the video by clicking on that thumbs up button, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. And one last thing, let me say this, because I went ahead and ended the video. If you watch the videos on the channel, okay, no promises, but you can come and ask the community members over in the Discord. They'll let you know the truth. They'll let you know, about the strategy I trade and how I, express it and talk about it through my videos. And there's tons of videos here on the channel where you can watch me as I'm into the trading session and I give my thoughts and details about how I trade during the session and why I took particular trades. There's also the Elite Channel Supporter or Elite Channel Member program. It's for $6.99 a month, okay? Because I get a lot of people that always ask me this and send me DMs. If you're someone that's interested in becoming an Elite Channel member, okay, that's a YouTube tier program. All you have to do is, you can see, if you look on the channel, but look at the video right here in front of you, okay? You'll see a button that says join. Click on that. You'll see 2 tiers pop up: Loyal Channel Supporter, and I think the other one is the Elite Channel Member tier or Elite Channel Supporter tier. The Elite Channel Supporter or Member tier is the one where you get the breakdowns, where I go into detail about the trade setups, talk to you about why I took that trade, my thought process, and just breaking things down. Okay. Also, you get the video playlist. That's a hand selected list of videos that I've picked out from over 600 videos here on the channel that really go into detail about and cover the important facts surrounding how I trade. I'm not enticing anyone to trade like me. I'm just here to show you the way I personally trade and how I do it. But that's for $6.99 if you're someone that is looking to become a Elite Channel Supporter or member. Click on the join link. You'll see 2 tiers pop up. Scroll down. You'll see the one that says Elite Channel Supporter. $6.99 a month. I know a lot of people spend. Let's think about it this way. The value you get out of it, okay, and you can ask before you even sign up for it, You could come over to the Discord community and ask individuals, you know, hey, who here has joined the Elite Channel supporter or become an Elite Channel member? And they're going to tell you, probably people are going to say, yeah, I found a lot of value in doing that. So you recommend it for $6, for $7 a month. What is $7? You know, a lot of individuals and people spend more than $7 a day on their lunch or on a price of a cup of coffee daily. So we're talking about $7 a month, not daily. Okay, so a lot of people have found value in doing so, and I thank everyone, because basically what you're doing is just supporting me as a content creator by and pushing and putting out there the way that I actually trade, sharing with you how I personally trade, and I'm giving it to you in the form of all this content and video. Not telling anyone to persuade you that trade like me. I'm just showing you the way I do it, and I thank everyone out there who supports me as a content creator by clicking on and becoming an Elite Channel supporter. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's all I had to say here in this video. And one last thing I want to just kind of express, because, you know, when I'm talking about supply areas, say for example, I marked up a few here in the chart. This was a supply area. We got a break of structure to the downside. Retracement back to a higher time frame supply. Okay, made a low, lower high. Another break of structure below here. Another supply area resting right here that we didn't tap into immediately on the pullback here. But as you see here, we did pull back to it right here. Okay, another supply area that you can look for something to react at and happen. It does. So you move down to your lower time frame, and if you watch the videos, you will understand the way that I trade when I talk about using multiple chart influence, moving from a higher time frame to a lower time frame, marking the zone with a higher time frame, moving to a lower time frame, looking for a supply setup. Spend some time watching the videos, and you will start to gradually grasp. Some people's learning curve is sooner than others. Some people have to take a little bit more time. Just depends on your learning style. Again, another supply zone right here. You know, the market started moving back higher. Then we started folding back to the downside here. Within even yesterday's trading session, which I didn't trade, but it broke structure, pulled back. Broke here, pulled back, and broke more structure to the downside, leaving a supply zone right here. What happens? The market goes back to it off the higher time frame. Again, a key part of waiting is about patience. The market taps into the supply zone. Then what I do? I move down to my lower time frame chart, look for, you know, a break structure to occur, look for a supply area to form on the lower time frame chart, wait for it to pull back to the area, and execute a trade going short once I get the rejection. It's as simple as that on a step-by-step process, and I have multiple videos talking about the strategy in detail and the step-by-step process to take in trading and how I do so, okay? But again, I'm putting it out there to you guys. I appreciate you tuning in and watching the videos. Take care.